Welcome everybody to the Conservative Greek. I'm changing up the way I'm doing my videos from now on. I was doing taped videos for you, but now I want to go live because I figure this is the best way to expand my reach, be live on X and YouTube at the same time. So stay tuned. Never fear, because the Greek is here. And we got a good one for you today. A lot is happening. Kamala is tanking. And when I mean tanking, she is falling apart. Her campaign is literally falling apart. You know, and you can tell this because they're getting the big guns. They're getting Obama. They're getting the celebs back. And you'll see some clips later on in the show. It's only going to be about 30 minutes, hopefully, if I don't talk too much. But first, let's get to a funny clip. Wait a second. Before I get to this clip, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video you do not want to miss. Help me expand my reach by liking. Follow me on X. If you don't, sometimes I say something cool, sometimes I don't. But it's up to you. So here's a first clip when President Biden, who actually was around, not dead, not on the beach, was asked about, did he contact Trump about hurricane relief? And this was his response.
Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, get a life, man. Help these people.
Will you hold him accountable? You said you were going to hold those accountable.
I just find that funny. Get a life. Help these people. Hello, you're the president of the United States, Biden. It's your job to help these people. Like, seriously, Trump is a private citizen. He's already gone down there with planes full of Starlinks. He's contacted Elon, got them communications, done more than you. We have supposed fake photo ops with Kamala, which we'll get to a clip later on in the show. I mean, it is your job as the president of the United States in time of turmoil. And that is when you see the true colors of a president. And that's why I tell you guys, Biden sucks. Kamala sucks. If the cameras aren't on her and she's not gaining any votes, she will not do it. She hasn't done things in 3 years. She hasn't gone to briefings for hurricane relief. She hasn't contacted DeSantis. She wanted to contact him now because she wanted to turn it into a political thing. And then Biden, once again, scrapped that, saying, I've been in contact the whole time with DeSantis. And we know that Biden is secretly on Team Trump. Even though he tries to act angry at Trump, but I think that's the elites pressuring him. That I really do. I think that's Obama and Pelosi all pressuring him because he's ruining their deal that they had for him, their awesome deal. Now, if any of you didn't catch Trump's newest policy yesterday, I have a clip from that right now that I'm going to play, and this new policy will help millions of Americans.
Today, I am also announcing that as part of our tax cuts, we will make interest on car loans fully deductible. So a man who's, a lot of you people are in the car industry. Actually, I met a lot of them backstage. What do you do? I'm in the car industry. But a lot of them, and I told him about it. He's a very knowledgeable person. He said, here's a guy, he's done it all his life. He's sitting right over there. I don't want to embarrass him. But he said, where did you come up with that idea? That's the coolest thing. It's like the paperclip again, right? It's like the paperclip. Somebody comes up with the paperclip and everybody says, why the hell didn't I think of that, right? Somebody came up with a paperclip, I guess made a lot of money. And other people said, gee. But he said, you know, I've been in the car industry all my life. I've never thought about that. So we're going to make it fully deductible, the interest payments. That's going to revolutionize your industry. This will stimulate massive domestic auto production and make car ownership dramatically more affordable for millions and millions of working American families. This is a phenomenal thing, if I do say so myself.
This is a really phenomenal thing. And for those of you who don't understand what this means, most of you who are getting car loans right now have interest payments that are well above 5 to 6%. When I got my first car, my interest payment was 1.25%. So look at what people are getting now, 8-9%. And we're talking cars being worth $40,000. Over the course of a year, you could pay up to 1,000 to 1,500, maybe 2,000, 2,500, maybe upwards of that in interest. That interest you pay on that year for that tax return will be fully deductible, and you will get that back on your tax return. So let's say you earned like YouTube income, $2,500 of income on YouTube, which I have in the past. That 2,500 in interest on my car, I could deduct that and now use that YouTube interest to cancel that out. And I don't pay tax on that YouTube interest, saving millions of money. It will save Americans money. It will help out people, especially those lower class individuals who pay a lot more on their cars because they don't have the credit score that they need and they have high interest rates. They will benefit the most from this. And Trump is just doing what he needs to do to spur the car industry, which that's why he was in Detroit yesterday. And as well as bring jobs back, with tariffs, bring plants back into the United States, lowering the corporate tax rate to 15% for made in America, which is huge. Kamala does not want to lower the corporate tax rate. For anybody who knows, she wants to raise that roughly to about 38%, I think was the number. She does that, you will lose industries in this country. Do not vote to find out. Vote on what you know. Trump helped these industries when he was president last time. And don't let them throw the COVID job losses in his face because the Democrats shut everything down then. And today, Kamala showed us a new accent. She now has her newest accent. So we are going to play that clip right here.
Well, first of all, thank you for the question. And I hope your family is okay and your home is okay.
Oh my goodness, she's Hispanic now. Kamala talking at her town hall all of a sudden is Hispanic. It's so disingenuous. I was talking with a independent voter the other day, and I'm like, what do you feel about all this fake ingenuine stuff? And they go, well, that's the number one reason why I'm voting for Trump. I know who he is. He's real. He tells you how it is. You may not like it, but at least you know what Trump's going to do, and he says it how he feels it. With Kamala, you don't know what the heck she's doing. She's a chameleon. She's looking at you in the face. She's talking down to you like you're a 5-year-old. Vote for me for joy. We don't want that. Okay? The American people do not want that. They want somebody who's going to be genuine as president. You may not like the way they say it, but you have to like the way they deliver it because they are true to themselves. And that's what Trump is. Kamala, who knows what the hell she thinks? Okay. I still don't know what the hell she thinks. And most people would say the same thing. They don't know who she is or what she's doing. And part of her disingenuous nature is the way she answers questions, the robotic nature. Does she always use a teleprompter? And people, you saw last week in one of my videos, 32 days. Is a teleprompter on? Nope. 32 days. 32 days. Oh, it went on. Thank God. Oh, that was Kamala the other day with her teleprompter. But here she is in a town hall, and there's a teleprompter. So let's just show this right here. There's no sound. There's just going to be one click sound. Now, there clearly is a teleprompter there, as you can see. She's clearly looking at it as she is talking. The teleprompter goes blank at a crazy time because the camera panned behind her and they realized that they showed it. So don't try and tell me on the left that there wasn't a teleprompter and that it's for her mediator of the debate of the town hall, okay, the host. The host should have note cards and have the questions written down and shouldn't even need a teleprompter. There should be no need for a teleprompter in these. Have you seen Trump on stage during a town hall? Watch his town halls. Watch his town halls and compare them with Kamala's. Because Kamala, when she did the one with Oprah, there was a teleprompter in the background. Not saying she used it there. Not saying she could have used it here, but the left, this is very poor look. Okay. And you're going to try and defend it till you're blue in the face. But we know that she is as scripted as they come because all her stuff is scripted. And now Tim Walz is doing the scripted stuff. You know, it's sickening to see all the scripted nature of everything. And this next clip I have is very, very interesting because as Kamala is talking, there seems to be a plant in the audience who seems to be mouthing the words as she's saying it. So we're going to watch this right here.
That unlike my opponent, who got handed $400 million on a silver tray and filed for bankruptcy 6 times, most people don't have that access to the wealth that is necessary for them to start a small business. But when they do, it's to their economic benefit as well as the economic benefit of the community.
Yeah, that's very interesting. How is she mouthing everything at the same time? Is she looking at a teleprompter? Or is she a plant of Kamala's, which we know nobody really likes showing up, so they plant people in the audience to ask the questions that they know in advance. She can have her talking points ready. Kamala cannot talk off the cuff. It's been a problem of Kamala's for her whole existence. It's why she dropped out before she even hit the first state in 2020, is because she's not liked. She wasn't liked as vice president. They were thinking of replacing her, but then Joe decided to die on the debate stage, so they had to replace him. And yeah, now you're left with Kamala because all the money was with her and Joe. So she's the only one who could use that money. But you see this stuff going on, and it gets sickening and even worse. And now you know they're losing. And do you know how you know they're losing and how they're tanking in the polls? I always say this. When a Democrat starts complaining about the Electoral College, you know you're winning an election as a Republican because that's the only thing they go to because they don't like things that don't benefit them. So here's Tim Walz when asked about his statement on the Electoral College.
I want to go back to something you said on Tuesday. You said, I think all of us know the Electoral College needs to go. But the campaign came out later that night, and they said that's not their stance.
Yeah. Well, it's not the campaign's position. And the point I'm trying to make is that there's folks that feel every vote must count in every state. Mm-hmm. And I think some of folks feel that's not the case. Our campaign does that. And the point I'm saying is I'm in 5 states in 2 days. We're out there making the case that the campaign's position is clear, that that's not their position. Their position and my position is to make sure that everybody understands their vote, no matter what state they're in, matters.
So that's something that you and Vice President Harris disagree on?
I have spoken about it in the past, that she's been very clear on this, and the campaign, and my position is the campaign's position.
Yeah, the Electoral College is needed. As we could see, you don't want your biggest states with the biggest popular areas controlling the whole election. This gives every state a say, with their Electoral College votes. And, you can they bank so many votes. They act like they win the majority of the states. They actually lose the majority of the states. More states are Republican. More areas are Republican. Look at a map. There are no red or blue. There are no blue states. There's blue areas in states. But if you look at the electoral map, it's red throughout. I want you guys to do that. California banks in a ton of votes. They probably gain close to 3 to 4 million votes that Republicans have to make up throughout the whole country. So when they are that's why we say when they're leading by 3 points in the polls, they're not leading because they're gaining all these percentage points in California and usually New York and Illinois, my state of Illinois, which we are morons, but maybe we'll turn Illinois red. I'm wearing red today. But that is the problem. And they go there because they want to complain. If we didn't have the Electoral College, we would win. Yeah, if you cheat enough in California with Gavin Newsom, who's now making it illegal to show ID, which we showed in our live stream the other night, of course Of course you want, because you can bank so many votes in California. You need the Electoral College. So when they talk about this and do things like this, it's just sickening. And I got more clips of Tim Walz in that interview because he was asked also, because Kamala bombed the one question that should have been the easiest for her on The View, is what she would have done differently than Joe Biden. She said, I don't think of anything I do differently. And you're like, wow, could you be a better campaigner for Donald Trump? So Tim Walz was asked that.
Vice President Harris was asked this week on The View if she would have done anything differently than President Biden, with President Biden, that he has done in the past 4 years. And she said, quote, there is not a thing that comes to mind. And she later said she would have a Republican in her cabinet.
Yeah.
And when it comes to President Biden and the presidency, would you, or do you see anything that you would have done differently?
Yeah, and look, as a governor, I was asked to be governor of this state when Donald Trump was president and when Joe Biden was there. And I watched Donald Trump dismiss the COVID pandemic. I watched him drive an economy into the ground. And I watched Joe Biden and Kamala Harris pick those pieces up. And I think for all of us, we make decisions, we reanalyze afterwards. I think the thing that drew me to this ticket, and I think what the vice president's talking about, is that her values on these hasn't changed. They have been working for the middle class. They've been doing all they can to make sure prices come down. They're protecting reproductive care.
So it makes me want to ask you, do you think that Biden's done everything right?
Well, look, I don't know if any of us do everything right, but I can tell you he's done everything in the best interest of the American public.
I like the generic statements they use. Well, I don't know if he's done everything right, but he's done everything like that genericism. Like, what critiques are you trying to separate yourself from Biden? Because we know you could say, I wish he hadn't caused record inflation. You could have said that. I wish he hadn't caused record border invasion across the border, illegal immigration. He could have said that. I wish he had stopped crime. He could have said that. I mean, to go like this and use these generic statements like that. And then they have to have the follow-up question because, her values haven't changed. We're sick of hearing about her values haven't changed. You can't have a position, supposedly change your position, then say your values haven't changed, and then move forward. This is the problem in the messaging, and I've said this multiple times with their campaign. A new way forward. A new hope. Like, what new hope? You're in office right now, so you're trying to not be with the party you're currently with, but then you want to be different, but then you tie yourself to the party you're currently with, but then you say you're different and you're going to fix the things that you created. It is very crazy messaging. And then when you get down to it and you start questioning Democrats and liberals and all kinds of people on the left, the one thing they get to all the time is, it's Trump's fault. It wasn't me. It's Trump. And let's show that right here.
They were saying that, hey, these are policies that Kamala Harris could have done 3 years ago when she was in the White House with President Biden, and she never did. What do you say to people who bring that up?
Well, Donald Trump had 4 years to do it, if you're going to talk about that. And what the point is, you need a partner in Congress. You've seen these. We've seen different bills that are ready to pass, and Donald Trump makes sure he steps in. We saw it around immigration, a bipartisan bill, widely respected, wanting to make a difference in this, holding true to our values, securing the border. Donald Trump steps in and says, look, that's going to hurt my political future. Let's not make it happen.
Oh, it was that orange man. Yes, it was the orange man. Orange man bad. Not we didn't do what we needed to do. Orange man was in 4 years. He didn't do what he needed to do. How about best border? Awesome economy. Record low inflation. We're talking 6% for 4 years of inflation. They are at currently 20% in 4 years. It's unheard of here. Okay? Gas prices. We were energy independent. No foreign wars. I mean, what do we want? Ending of ISIS. What didn't he accomplish in his 4 years? Now, you can critique the way he handled COVID, but COVID was unknown, and he was trusting a lot of advisors like Fauci, ouchie, the ouchie Fauci. And Fauci was a moron, okay? States that didn't close down had the same outcomes as states that did close down, okay? With things that occurred in COVID and the way they shut down everything, you shut down the economy and then you threw those job numbers in his face like, oh, you lost these jobs. And then you took control of those jobs and claimed them as your own when they bounced back after the COVID pandemic went away. Now, the problem with that too is you signed into office these horrible, the Inflation Reduction Act, which was not, we know now because Biden told us was never about inflation. Thank you, Biden. You're the best campaigner for Donald Trump right now. We know that Kamala has had her hand in all of these things. Okay. So it's just sickening. And then when you're losing, you do the blame other game. It's just like a little child. Okay. The left acts just like children. When you're losing, you blame the other person. You know that I didn't steal the cookie, mama. It was my brother. And because my brother stole it, now I'm seen as the good child. And she'll give me a cookie because I told on my brother. That doesn't work with the American people. We are smarter than that. Okay. And this messaging of Orange Man bad, we are good. That maybe worked when X wasn't controlled by Elon. But now our message is not censored anymore. You can't control the media like you once did. And that is what they are scared of. You know, I played a clip on the live about Hillary saying we lose all control when we don't control the situation on the media, social media. And it's true. They are panicking and they know it. And what's funny about this is they know they can't send her out more, because the more they send her out and Tim Walz out, the more they dip in the polls. It is a counterproductive sinking ship here that they're on, because the more they talk, the more people realize they are incompetent as hell and they are dumb as hell. Sorry, I don't want to say that. I'm not against women being president, for anybody who might think that. There's a lot of awesome women that actually would be qualified. I'm not for this DEI bullshit. I want qualified people in positions. I don't want people to get positions because of their skin color, race, or anything. And it never should be about that. It should be about their qualifications. I always said, when looking at a resume, you don't know what the person is. You look at just qualifications and you call them. And they'll use, oh, but their name sounds foreign. They might not get a call. My name's as foreign as they come, okay? And I've gotten the call all the time. Trust me, nobody can pronounce my real name. Okay, it's a long Greek name. But that's just off topic. But you know they can't send Tim Walz and Kamala Harris out more, because you send them out more, you're doing counterproductive work, and Trump keeps gaining and gaining and gaining. And Trump knows this, because Trump's out today in Colorado. He's out today. He's going to go to Coachella tomorrow. He's going to Madison Square Garden. Today, he announced another bill that another plan of his where he wants to deport illegal aliens, death penalty for anybody who murders an American citizen. That's illegal. Wow. If you're caught doing a crime, minimum 10 years in jail. I like this kind of stuff. We need to clean up the mess. And Kamala Harris is now sending out the big guns. I told you earlier in the show that she's sending out Obama and the celebrities. Well, here's Obama out there campaigning.
The tweets in all caps, the ranting and the raving about crazy conspiracy theories. Yeah, the 2-hour speeches, word salad, just, you know, it's like Fidel Castro. Just on and on. Constant attempts to sell you stuff.
Constant attempts to sell you stuff. Could they project any more? Kamala is trying to sell her whole campaign and fake it to the American people. Everything she does is staged. Everything. Constantly is trying to sell us stuff. And once again, Trump word salad. Have you listened to Kamala speak? It's word salad after word salad after word salad. It is atrocious. And I don't even know what the heck she's saying half the time. I find it funny because I'm trying to listen. I'm like, what is she talking about? And he's going out there, and of course he has to compare everything back to Donald Trump. Orange man bad. Let's not talk about our policies or what we're going to do for the American people. Orange man bad. That's what it's about. Orange man bad. Why is everything about the orange man? But here is him with a group of individuals talking further. And this one is kind of disgusting.
Is that we have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
So they're sending Obama out to talk to the brothers because, he's a brother, and they're going to talk to the brothers about turnout and how they're not turning out for Kamala. And if you are a black male, you must vote and take care of your own, right? You must go vote for Kamala. But they are not turning out and showing the support that she needs to win this election. So now they got to send the big gun Obama to go talk to the brothers. Here's the problem. People are smart. They see somebody who's disingenuous. They see their communities ravaged by the policies of the Democrats year after year after year after year. Okay? I saw a clip yesterday of Charles Barkley talking about, I voted Democrat my whole life, and I see everybody poor in my hometown. Nobody's getting rich. And I would take a step back and be like, man, they ain't doing nothing for us. And I think people are waking up. You can only do handouts so much and keep people at this level for so long. Okay? We aspire to be at this level. And you don't get to this level by getting handouts. You get to this level by working and trusting yourself and making a living. And that is the problem that we have here. Kamala is pandering all the time, trying to win votes when Trump is going out there trying to do the best for American people with policy. You're sending Obama out there to talk to the brothers. Okay, that's going to get them to vote for them while their families are suffering. They're going to the grocery store every day. And this is a difference in this election. For anybody who doesn't know, of course you know because you're here. People are in the grocery store every single day buying stuff. They can compare to what it was like under Trump. They can compare the gas prices, what it was like under Trump. They can compare their communities and was crime rampant. If you live in Chicago, crime was rampant because we're Democrat run. Okay, not going to lie. So, but what you can see is these areas where you have illegals coming in and your towns have been ravaged due to influx of people. You can see this and compare. And that comparison kills them and they hate it. And that's why people are not voting for her. Not to mention she's so disingenuous. She's fake, has a different accent wherever she's at. That's not how people talk. I told somebody I knew yesterday, I have cousins in Australia. And I'm like, what if I came to Australia and was like, good day, mate. Do you want to go to put a shrimp on the barbie? They would have been like, what's this man doing? What is he doing? Why is he acting so fake? We know you're not Australia. It's so disingenuous. You don't do this in your regular life. And if you do, you're probably weird, right? That's what I'm saying. But, it wasn't just Obama they sent out. They sent out Julia Roberts because, you got to get all the elite Hollywood celebrities, people who struggle, people who struggle the same life as us middle class people, yeah. Well, here she is.
I just hope that all the women here tonight talk to all the men that aren't here tonight, and all you brave men that are here tonight. Talk to all the other men that aren't here tonight. And let's just get it going. Enough with the fighting. Let's get to the uniting. Let's get to the joy. Let's get to the repair. Let's get to prices dropping, rents dropping. Let's get to the good stuff so we can start living our lives to the fullest potential that we have.
You know what? I did agree with one statement she said. let's get to the good stuff where prices are dropping and we can live life to its full potential. And that is with Donald J. Trump, not with Kamala Harris. She's in office right now. Why isn't she telling all her great policies to Biden so he can implement some of them and lower the costs, right? Right? Why not do it? Why not do it now? Why make us wait till after the election so we can suffer a few more months? Why? Why? And what's this whole thing about Joy? Joy doesn't pay for anything. I wish I took my camera in because I asked the cashier at Walmart. I'm like, "Can I pay with Joy?" And she looked at me and goes, "Huh?" I wish I could have got that recorded. But it's Joy doesn't give you anything. Policies and procedures and people in place who have a firm leadership will get us further than anything. Who got us into this mess? They'll say Trump left us a bad economy. No, Trump left you 1.8 inflation is last year. You then turned it, and 14 months into your term had record inflation. So don't say Trump did that. You undid 94 executive orders of Trump, opened the borders, and your border is crazy worse. Crime is up throughout, even though they're not counting the big cities. Inflation still hasn't really dipped. Jobs are bounce back jobs, and illegals are taking most jobs that are created. And it's sickening to see what's going on. And people want to not vote Trump because Orange Man bad. Well, who cares what you think of somebody's personality for president? I want a president who is decisive and does action and gets things done. And he's got ego. And, that ego is too big to fail. And that's kind of what I think of Trump. And getting Hollywood stars, maybe that worked for you in the past when you controlled all the media and you could be like, let's go joyous. But in today's environment with X being out there, and by the way, if you're watching on X, you can go to my page right now and click on my YouTube and please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It would be much appreciated. I see all of you wonderful people. I love each and every one of you. These Hollywood celebrities just don't do it anymore. Like Taylor Swift, she's a billionaire. None of this stuff affects her. Like she's got a private plane and she's got drivers taking her anywhere, her own personal security. So you're like, oh, groceries are $5. It's not going to affect her. But the everyday American citizen who's voting to vote for somebody because Taylor Swift told you so, that's gone bye-bye because you go to the store, you see it, and they can't hide from this. And that is the difference in this election between this and 2020. 2020, they could put Joe in the basement. The media controlled everything. X was censored. Everything was censored. And they could use COVID and weaponize COVID against Trump. They can't do that now. And now we're smarter. We have a lot more ways of fighting things that they're doing. And with election integrity, we're going to have ballot watchers, things set up on the ground so that we can ensure this doesn't happen again. And they are scared. And I love part of Kamala's new messaging because it should be a Trump ad every time she says this.
Folks, it's time to turn the page. It's time to turn the page. And America is ready for a new way forward.
She is 100% right. We are ready for a new way forward without her. We're going to turn the page on her. We do not need Kamala Harris leading this country. Far from it. Why would anybody want Kamala Harris leading this country? And if you're one of those never Trumpers, I always vote blue, think with your pocketbook. Think with your business. Think what it was like in your business under Trump. And just be like, I can ignore him on the news. I can ignore him on X. And think of what your life was like. Don't just be like, I'm voting for her because I can't stand him, because that's just the dumbest vote you can make. A new way forward. She's in office right now. That messaging is pathetic. And here is something big that came up this morning that I saw. Kamala Harris supposedly got a plane full of goods and supplies and did it all for a stage photo for the hurricane victims and never sent it. And here's a couple of guys talking about that.
And then also from that video, I started getting a lot of messages like to my Instagram from like actual like aircraft commanders, like squadron commanders.
No kidding.
I had a squadron commander from North Carolina reach out to me. They had to load a C-17 full of supplies just to take a photo op for Kamala. And they never sent the bird.
Wait a minute, what?
They loaded an entire C-17 full of supplies for the hurricane victims just for Kamala to go there, take a photo, take a video, and they never sent the C-17. It was just
Are you
full.
serious?
Yeah, and that was a National Guard, North Carolina National Guard unit. That was a 06 that reached out to me. And then I had another.
He reached out to you to tell you that they did a photo op and with the intention of never sending.
Never sent it. It was just a photo op.
Yeah, that is Kamala in a nutshell. If the cameras are on her and she can position it, do what she needs to do, she is going to be there and she's going to act because it's all about how it makes her look. She doesn't care about you as a human being. I mean, Trump had members of his family delivering Starlinks quietly to areas when he could. Okay. He's not the president. It's not on him to act. He's been in contact with individuals, which is crazy. It's not his job to do these things, but yet he's the one doing them. Kamala, 6 days it took her to get there, and then staging photos. And then she, of course, gets a campaign video of her stuffing one bag full of waters, and she wants to act like she's good. You know, I just want you guys to be in the know. That's why I do these videos. Maybe one of you watching will be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I never saw it that way. And that's what I hope. All you just do your research, because when you look at it, Kamala is nothing more than a machine, a puppet that is controlled by the machine. And you can see that. Is it Obama pulling the strings, you know? And it's always the case that how could you get rid of one candidate and just insert another candidate? And when you saw her vice presidential pick, it makes it obvious. It makes it really obvious that she is just a puppet, because he's a puppet too. They can control both of them. And that's what you want. You don't want anybody who can think for themselves on that side. Trump cannot be controlled. He's not controlled by anybody, by big corporations, because he's already a billionaire. And that's what I like about him. He is going in there to fix things. He doesn't have to do this. He wants to do it. I think everybody in my live comments, this new format, I'm not going to read comments on live. It's just doing the show live like this because I get a good view and it's easier to film. And hopefully you like this new style. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and please tune in the next time. I love each and every one of you. Vote red, stay humble, and stay good, my friends.